We're all set to go.
Previously in FIA Formula 2, Baku gave typical drama as the drivers got ready for their sprint contest on the Saturday. We had chaos on the start as Paul Citarella Gomez would be spin around. It would be drama for the Red Bull juniors of Gertha, Marty and Lindblad. They were involved in an opening lap shunt. The rest of them would continue on. There would be some brilliant driving from debut boy Martinius Denshaw's as he would get going in Formula 2 with fighting, but there would be a win for Dino Beganovic.
It's time for the feature race for FIA Formula 2 from a brighter Azerbaijan than we had first thing this morning. It is round 12 of the FIA Formula 2 World Championship, and this legendary contest once again is at the legendary circuit. Baku has sort of become Formula 2's crown jewel. There's always something exciting, there's always something dramatic happening around this 6.003 kilometre circuit. 20 corners, 2 DRS zones in operation. This always is a fast-paced, aggressive, brilliant circuit. And Pirelli have brought with them the soft and the ultra-soft tyres to contend with today's 29-lap race. Yesterday in the feature it was 8 laps on super softs and then 9 laps to softs, but it has changed up ever so slightly with a longer race today. Now, downforce levels at a medium, but brake wear and fuel consumptions at a high, and a low is tyre usage coming into today. And we've had the news earlier on that we will have the formation laps behind the safety car due to the overnight rain here at Azerbaijan. Even though it's coming up to 10 o'clock over there, nearly 11 o'clock, it is the correct decision to have these pace laps behind there because we don't know where the standing water is, if any, with the way the circuit is. So it's safe to just do a couple of laps behind the pace car.
It is, absolutely, as we get set for a Formula 2 feature race, which will go a long way in deciding our champion, especially if your name is Leonardo Fornaroli and you've got a front row start as well. Should be quite an interesting feature.
Yeah, this is the oil that's been spilled down to turn 1 as well for some of the demonstrational events. You can see it's still very wet offline. So I don't know, Tom, whether or not this will be a rolling start or a standing start, to be fair, because of the amount of issues they have down towards turn 1. But annoyingly, the track itself is actually bone dry.
It is, but it's the amount of grip one side of the grid could have to the other. That's the only thing I could throw in there. I do hope we get a stunning start as we run down today's grid here in Baku.
So from the back, it's Cordeal in 22nd and Clarence Shields taking 21st position as well. 20th goes to Lawrence Van Hopen, with Kushmini taking in 19th place on the field. And then starting in 18th, we go with Rito Miata alongside Roman Stanek. 16th on the grid goes to Ollie Goethe. Joshua Durskin qualified in 15th. Arvin Lindblad with a grid penalty stance at 14th alongside John Bennett, who was lucky to even start this weekend after a horrible crash with Stanek. He starts 13th. 12th on the grid, well, that goes to Victor Martin. Zanomi, here's the second half of the grid.
Absolutely, Richard Vachon finds himself in 11th. He won the feature race here 1 year ago. And then he's next to Villa Gomez, who was tagged around yesterday. Dino Beganovic was the winner of that contest as well. Sebastian Montoya with some late issues. Same applies to Stenshorn, who will try and get some points on his feature race debut. Pepe Marti is next to Luke Browning. Marti not with the best of luck around this circuit. Browning made his Formula 2 debut around this venue in 2024. Alex Dunn finds himself in 4th. He's alongside Gabriele Mini. These two found themselves close together in the race for a long distance yesterday, and Leonardo Fornaroli starts in 2nd, and it is Jack Crawford who is on pole position then for this feature race here at Baku.
The safety car will lead the field away on the formation laps, and we will get the sprint to feature transition behind the safety car, not as we usually would with the traditional formation lap. Now this counts as the original start, Omi, but then once we go onto the second lap, that counts lap 1 of the race, so we'll tick down to 28 remaining. Personally, I don't see too much wrong with that run into turn 1. It's not being picked up on a slight little test, but it shouldn't affect the braking. I think we're good to go.
Yeah, and my concern mostly would be, do we really want to do a rolling start and have them with so much speed into the first turn? I feel like a rolling start around here could be a little bit more dangerous as well, because of the speed they will have, and we have seen in the dry them struggle with braking performance into the first turn. If there is some wet patches, do we really want to send them with so much speed down there all together on a rolling start?
Jack Crawford's on pole, here he is.
Yeah, it was a good day, a good lap. I felt very comfortable since first laps in free practice, and the car was feeling good all day, and obviously good enough to take me to pole. You know, it's going to be all about your pace and strategy as well, so yeah, having a good strategy, it can be very easy to get mixed up around the pit stop sequence on the first end. So yeah, keeping it clean, I think, is the main part, and keeping it out of the barrier.
The SS boards are flashing around the circuit. That indicates a standing start procedure, Tom. So the correct decision, do you think?
I think so. I think Omi made a very strong point, actually, that doing a rolling start on a pit straight like this could end up being a little bit more dangerous than it is of doing a standing start on that short run down to turn 1. Jack Crawford, we're aiming for a very, very good start, but I'm also on the lookout to see who can make a very, very good launch from wherever they end up. Stenshorn's going to be one to look out for. Strong performance yesterday before he retired, but now today, where the bigger chunk of points get given out, it could really kickstart his time in Formula 2. But it's also about the championship battle. Can Jack Crawford close down the arrears on Leo Fornaroli, who basically needs to try and get as many points as possible? He doesn't need to win today, but if he can just beat most of his rivals, particularly Fornaroli, then that will round off a decent weekend for the Italian.
I mean, I'm worried a couple of people are going to say, well, that was pointless to put the safety car out there on the formation lap, but we saw it earlier on in the season with Formula 1 doing the same. It kind of makes sense just to make sure in case we need a couple of laps behind the pace car.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't affect anything. It's not going to take away any laps from this. They put it out there, they saw what happened, it was all fine, the drivers were reporting on the radio about it, everything's fine, they can come in, and, well, once the lights go out, no one will absolutely care. It's not affecting the race one bit, I guess is the way to put it. But here we go, they're lining up in position. Race starts around this circuit, whether it be standing or rolling, I've always seen a bit of chaos. You can expect some forms of incidents at the race start like we saw yesterday, 2 separate ones on the opening lap, as we see Prema and Juan Pablo Montoya also watching on, hoping for some better luck today, as was Stenshorn. And yes, let's hope we can get everyone off the line, just like we did in yesterday's contest.
Yeah, happy birthday to Juan Pablo Montoya, who celebrates it today by watching his son race here in the F1 paddock. Lights then will be coming on for 29 laps ahead of us. You can see the race control messages at the bottom of your screen saying standing start. They'll line up. Crawford is already positioned slightly towards the left-hand side to try and block off Fornaroli down to turn 1. As you can see, now soft tyres, Villa Gomez, Maney and Lawrence Van Hopen as well. Now that is going to be critical. Everyone else starting on the super softs as they head down towards turn number 1. Medical car at the back. Revs are rising. Green flag is signalled. Rebecca Lee presses the button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Action in Baku. It's a good start coming up from Crawford, but Forneroni not got the best getaway. Now let's see what Gabriel Mini can do around the outside into turn 1. No, it's status quo, but Forneroni does get ahead of Crawford. Mini dives back to the inside line down towards turn 2. Has he made that move stick? Montoya's coming up the inside of Alexander Dunn as well. He has to back out a bit. Mini takes second. Crawford's down for first to third. John Bennett going a bit wide there, further back in the X in the picture. Villa Gomez, also his teammate getting into some strides as a side-by-side. Dunn now trying to have a go as round the outside. Crawford on Mini down to turn 3. Dunn can't get ahead of Brownie has jumped, and I think Omi, everybody through safely this time round. No, yellow flags are out. That's down at sector 6, not sure why yet, as they come through the corners. Oh, that's why someone's flown off the circuit.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll look to try and get going, but a clean start until we got to that moment, unlike yesterday as well. Browning didn't get anywhere off the line as well, further back in the field. Same applies to Crawford. He's found himself dropping down, and it means Leonardo Forneroni now leads the way. A dream scenario for him.
Bennett's off the track as they come towards the castle section. There's still 3 wide, Tom, in the castle section. That's never going to work. They're going to have to back out of this one ASAP.
Yeah, they're coming into the castle section now, so they're going to have to behave themselves, which they do. They go single file through the castle section, and out they come, and towards turns 11 and 12. And this is the fastest section of the course they're heading through. There is Jack Crawford behind. What looks to be Gabriel Mini ahead. Alex Dunn has not made the best of starts either, although he's in 6th position. Martini Stenschel's made up a couple of places, so in 5th position in the Trident.
Over we go then, out of turn 16, over now the 2.7 kilometre back straightaway. This is still lap 1 of the event, already leading, but Crawford's on the back of Mini. Mini got up to 2nd position, but the slipstream power might just be enough as they head down towards the first corner. Crawford's got in the slipstream. Mini's got absolutely no toe from Forneroni. Crawford's got so much more speed as he pulls to the inside line. He's going to get this move done even without DRS into turn 1. Fabulous move. Crawford back into 2nd place. Can Mini hold it round the outside through turn 1 as they avoid the oil patch on the inside. And Crawford's back through. Has to defend for Mini, who tries the undercut on the inside. Switches back to the outside. Not going to work out further back. As the same thing now, I think we see Martin Stenschel back up into 4th. He's battling with Jose Maria Martiomi.
Stenschel once again going for it on the charge with a dive bomb move into turn number 1 and completing the overtake that Crawford also attempted to do, and Crawford did do as he gets into turn 3 just ahead of his rival at the moment, battling still, going on further back. That's Arvid Lindblad, who of course had a terrible feature race at Monza last time out, and this time he's fighting up against Villa Gomez. But Forneroni, all of this fighting is allowing him to pull away.
2.5 seconds ahead. DRS now enabled, Tom, so Forneroni can manage those ultra soft tyres. They only went 8 laps, of course, this time last year, but it was a shortened race due to the red flag that we had at the start crash. But here today, it's going to be completely unknown. They've got no data for longer runs in this version of the car.
Yeah, well, they have to think about whether it's going to be a timed race. I mean, judging by the number of laps and the lap times that they are producing on race fuel levels, there is every chance it's going to end up being a timed race. So Forneroli, as much as he's got that 2.5 second lead, does not need to push too hard as he wants to try and go as far as he can before he gets the soft tyres put on. But we see Lindblad further down the field after serving his penalty, running in 13th position. But it feels like they've behaved themselves on this, well, first couple of laps compared to yesterday.
Oops, brief yellow on the circuit as that, well, that's the 7 going off the circuit of Luke Browning, who's running in 8th position. Coincidentally, we've got position 7, position 8 and position 9 by 9, 7 and 8. So completely the wrong orders for those in the number game as well, as you see on the monitor, with Montoya running 7th, he's number 9. Now Boganovic has got ahead, so he's 8-8, but P9 is car 7 of Luke Browning. So the only one in position is Boganovic, who won yesterday, as we see Joshua Durtskin trying to go around the outside. Luke Browning Omi into turn 1. Hasn't worked out. Lindblad's dropped down to 15th place, but Durtskin's looking left and right, trying to go right around the outside into turn 2.
One of our sprint race 1 year ago now looks to try and get some decent points as well after his double podium at Monza. He's tucked directly in the slipstream. He's trying to go tight to the inside. That was close to the wall, wasn't it? And he's trying to dart to the outside to the inside, but there's still no way through. But that was so close to ending his race in dramatic fashion. Fastest lap now goes to Stenschel. who's now trying to put the pressure on Mini. So he's trying to get back onto the podium he should have had yesterday. So this is absolutely fantastic from Stenchel.
So, Forlaroli by 2.5 seconds to Crawford, Mini, then you say Stenchel, Marty, Dunn, Montoya, Boganovic, Browning, Durskin, Verschoor, Villagomez, Liblad, Miata, Stanek, Martans, Goethe, Mini, Cordial, Van Hopen, Shields, and Bennett are the 22 runners so far. No one's retired, but Bennett did have a lap time deleted for running off the circuit. Lap 3, we've completed 2 of the 29 scheduled as we now watch Durskin, who's already moved up 5 places, Tom, and he's on this ultra soft tyre. He's trying to find some momentum as we ride now with Marty looking back to Dunn.
Yeah, well done. Well, he needs to make some places really to stay in the fight for the championship after this one. Whereas with Pepe Marti, he's trying to keep up with Martinius Stenchel on the head. He's within DRS range, but Stenchel will have the DRS as he's within 1 second of Gabriele Mini. Jack Crawford's getting the gap down as well as they complete their 3rd lap of this one. No major changes in the position really over the course of this particular tour. I think Dirkson's got some damage on the right-hand side of his front wing, so you'll probably see it in a moment as he goes after Luke Browning.
On the inside line down towards turn 1, he's got that move done, almost runs to the back of Dino Boganovic, but I think, yeah, that wing damage might just be effective. Look, he's missing an end plate.
Yeah, absolutely. But currently, he's just looking to try and push on from this point forward. So, Dirksen will continue as he finally was able to get that move done. We get down into turn number 3, where the drivers go back to single file, most of them. Let's go back then to the race start. And Fornaroli's going to shoot off the line very quickly indeed by him. Stenchel has to take avoiding action because Browning did not get off the line very well. And then they were all well behaved, and Crawford's going to get sent a little bit out wide there by Fornaroli. And that would give then Gabriele Mini the run to go up the inside by the time we got down to turn 2.
Yellow flag set to 4, someone's off the circuit. DRS has been disabled. We'll have a look, see why in a second. But Tom, what do you notice at the start? Oh, no, man. Coming through, green flags back out, and DRS re-enabled. Tom, what do you make of the start?
So Fornaroli basically got a better launch, and Gabriele Mini, well, he looks at the outside and then cut back through, which is a very smart thing to do by Gabriele Mini. And he got alongside Crawford to make the move stick into turn 2. The yellow flag, for your information, was for the debris on the back straight, so that's been cleared now. But a good start here from Boganovic. He's going to make up 1 position. A torrid getaway, actually, from Luke Browning further ahead.
Yeah, not bad at all, was it? Coming through, go on, Amy.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrible. Everyone had to go on the attack as well. And then this was a superb move from Crawford. Just able to get in the slipstream, really. Just able to get in the slipstream. Such a strong toe here at Baku. You're already alongside, and then you are looking to try and move ahead by the time you get down to the braking zone. And then this was Joshua Dirksen going right up to the wall, and that is where he lost the end player. I mentioned it was so close to a fighting accident, and that was a fighting accident very nearly, where he lost his front wing.
Into the barrier! That was that! Stenchel, it was! Martinez Stenchel, run wide and straight into the barrier at turn 1 as we return to live pictures. He was out of the race yesterday with an engine failure. He's out of the race today with a crash into the barrier. A good race weekend is going from bad to worse, and surely that's a safety car. He's okay, but the barrier's going to need to be repaired. They're going to have to drag the car out of there. That's going to have to be a safety car, which puts us in, very worryingly, towards the danger zone, because as Tom mentioned, it's been a 2-minute lap time so far, 29 minutes on the clock, sorry, 50 minutes on the clock, 29 laps on the ticker, indicates that we probably would reach the time limit. They're not safety carring it yet, Omi.
Yeah, not yet, but it will most likely have to go that way, and Fornaroli's gap will be brought down to absolutely nothing. And safety car's deployed, there we go. Safety car is deployed as it needed to be. Oh, that's a shame for Stenchel. Such a good job yesterday, such a good job today, such good pace. It was the moment where everything faded away down at this part of the circuit at turn 1.
Did he get forced in or cast through the pit lane? Did he get... No, he's locked up way before an entry.
Are you okay, mate?
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's a lot.
It's nothing to do with Marty. It is that's Stenchel's fault, isn't it, Omi? Because he was so far and he locked up, in fact, on the brakes as well.
Yeah, bit of an error, which he'll just have to put behind him, learn from, and go from there. But I think he's shown his class and talent in Formula 2 this weekend, his pace levels. So just like Gabriele Mini did 1 year ago, he found the wall in the feature race. I know he did get the podium in the sprint, but you know, the rookies are going to have a bit of a struggling weekend. But if you can just show glimpses of your talent, then I think you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job for the next season that will come up.
Now, interesting enough, cars through the pit lane, as we know, are covered in on track at turn 1, but I'm not sure if we'd see anybody doing pit stops, because those are the ultra soft tyres, Tom. I've got a golden opportunity here, and they're not getting ready for pit stops, no. So, interesting enough, though, when we're allowed to go through the start straight, how many were going to come into the pit lane to try and capitalise on this safety car at precisely the right time for the ultra softs?
Well, if you're those on the ultra softs, it'd be very silly to not pit onto the safety car, unless you want to gamble on another safety car later on, which is always a very risky business. So if you're Fornaroli, you probably want to stick a set of the soft compound on next time around, because I don't think the safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap, in my honest opinion. So that will be the golden opportunity for these to pit in. But if the safety car does come in at the end of this lap, then it's game on then effectively, because nobody really knows when each driver is going to pit in under green flag condition.
Sort of resets the timing field, doesn't it, as well, which is a good thing. Lap 6 of 29. Follow early from Crawford, Mini, Marty, Dunn, Montoya, Bogdanovich, Durskin, Browning, for sure, your top 10. Bit of Gomez just outside of it with Miata, Lindblad, Stanek, Martans, Goethe, Maney, Van Hopen, Cordeal, Shields, and Bennett, the 21, still in the race, Omi. And yeah, well, Bennett had to go back in because he has dropped back after running off the circuit earlier on in the day.
Box is what Leo is told at the front as well. Lap 6 out of 29. Of course, they'll be making their way through the pit lane unless they are instructed not to next time by the race directors. So we're all getting set and ready then for what should be another restart around the Baku City circuit. Going to be quite interesting, I think, to see how it is all going to play out. The typical Baku drama that we usually see in Formula 2 definitely could be unfolding. Right, let's go back to a replay. This is Alex Dunn down into time. We're looking at it ahead, and it's going to be a bit of a look by Pepe Marti. So, okay, maybe they do get into each other then from this angle.
Yeah, he released off the brakes, and he was never making the corner himself. That was completely on him. I barely touched him. It was completely on him.
Shame we have it on board from Marty's point of view, as the track's now clear sector 1.
Yeah. It looks very different from the two POVs. The one we originally got, it was like, no, there's no contact, and then it's like, for this one, it's so close.
Is there contact maybe right at the apex of turn 1? As there's the medical car. Interesting. Of course, the lap here is so long, the Formula cars get through quicker than the safety car, and the medical car can get round. So the medical car is permanently positioned on the back straightaway, because it can't get back to the pit lane in time. Still through the pit lane this time by. So now we'll see if it's going to be pit stop time. You are allowed to do that. So let's see what happens. Look, yeah, they're all coming in now. Well, this is going to get very, very messy. Drivers are going to take this opportunity of having to come through the pit lane to pit. And the race leader is in. You shouldn't lose too much time, but you have to wait for everybody else to go through the field in order to rejoin. I mean, this is a chaotic gamble now, and hopeful that you're going to be okay.
Yeah, you're just trying to find a gap as so many people come in.
Mini's jumped him.
Where's Crawford?
Crawford's jumped him.
Lose out.
Crawford's jumped him. Fornaroli's lost 3 places. So the race leader, so Mini leads, and that's the advantage of a good pit box, but they're all double stacking. Durskin rejoins ahead of, well, he's jumped up 2 places as well. Van Hopen and Montoya and Browning losing out places. So Mini leads. Crawford, Marty, Fornaroli dropped down 3 to 4th. Dunn stays where he is. Durskin moves up 2. Bogdanovich, Villa Gomez, Maney, Van Hopen for sure. Miata, Montoya drops down 6. Lindblad, Stanek, Browning drops down 9. Cordeal, Shields, Goethe, Bennett and Martins. And Martins dropped down the worst, actually. Martins dropped down from 15th. Yeah, Browning's dropped down from 9th to 16th, so not that many places according to the monitor. Safety cars in this lap. Well, that's a surprise and a half. What do you reckon of that one, Tom? It was interesting that they did just take that decision to go for it.
Yeah, well, Mini's benefited from that massively, so he's got a chance of coming away with the victory, but we've got a long way to go. Safety car is in this lap. Now the question is, are we going to be in for... Is this the beginning of the domino effect where the chaos ensues around Baku?
Amy?
Because for one incident that happens, everyone else just follows suit.
Well, I guess there's a huge chance of that because we've had, even at circuits like Monza, where chaos does breed chaos, especially in the FIA Formula 2 Championship, as the cars will get ready and prepare for the safety car restart. So it's Mini, Crawford, Marty, Fornaroli, Dunn, Dirksen. Bogdanovic has got the fastest lap, he's in 7th. And then it is Villa Gomez, Miney, and Lawrence Van Hoopen, the only driver that remains now for Trident in this race as we prepare. The green flags to fly, so the safety car is going to be coming in at the end of this lap, and Crawford, can he react quickly then up against Mini? I guess that will be the interesting question, JB, as we prepare to go back to the green flags here at Baku City Circuit.
So Mini then in the lead of the race as Crawford nearly runs into the back of him. Coming down the back straight away. Safety car diving in. Ready for a restart? When are you going to push it? Everyone's changed tyres. The gamble becomes now. And when is Mini going to put pedal down to the floor? Here we go, ready? DRS line. Yesterday it was the opportunity to go for it. Pit entry line would be today's ideal one. Cold tyres, cold brakes. There's a lock up further back. Coming in from the VAR of Villa Gomez. Mini still hasn't hit the pedal yet. The green flag is out. We're racing now. Mini's got the better launch. Crawford's under attack from Jose Maria Martins. They come down towards the first corner. Fornaroli going to look for the inside. Dunn's on the outside. Dirksen still battling with Bogdanovic. Kushmani gets ahead of Villa Gomez as well. Everyone rear sliding just a bit as they come down to turn 2. Montoya's dropped back a couple of positions. Rito Miata making up some good ones on the inside of Villa Gomez. Lindblad gets ahead. Van Hopen down into 14th place as they come through. Side by side down the back straightaway towards turn number 3, Omi.
Absolutely, Miata having a look down the inside, and he was brave into turn number 1. He's brave into turn number 3 as well at the moment as they're going to try and make their way through. Are they all going to be able to get through though, because it's so close to contact?
They're rubbing each other coming through, and no! A calf down the road, can't tell who it is. It's Browning!
That'll be Browning.
Oh, so he'll loop it back around hopefully. I mean, he won't stall it, but Luke Browning's Dave goes from bad to worse. Lost so many places in the restart, now he's under attack, and everyone trying to get temperature.
Martin Stentral's also been noted as well, so the stewards will look at that to see whether there was anything from that, and it looks like Browning stranded on what's been a terrible day for him.
Should be able to select first gear, but these Mechachromes, Tom, are very dangerous. He's stuck in reverse.
Yeah, and those brakes are absolutely cooked, aren't they? For Luke Brown. I saw a piece of debris fly in the air on the exit of turn 6. I don't know whose front wing that is, but I think a marshal will need to go and pick that up if he can. But we'll see as the drivers continue on, but it all seems to be that they've behaved themselves around the restart.
Oh, Mini's made a mistake! Crawford's on the back of him coming out of turn 16, and he's through! Mini made a rear mistake, did not have any drive coming out of turn 16, and now with the DRS activated, Mini's going to have to recapture the lead of the race. He's still in the back of Crawford as he opens up the DRS now and heads down towards turn 1. Crawford goes defensive. Mini pulls round the outside. I'm starting to think that that was tactical as he's kept the lead of the race. They're side by side down towards turn 1 as a bad tumble weeds its way down across as Mini leads into the first corner, but Omi had no pace coming out of turn 16.
Yeah, no pace, but it's one of those things where you can do that and you can get away with it, because then he had a long straight to fight that one back. He did fight that one back, and he's back at the front now. And I guess, well, we have seen tactics before in this championship like that, so that could be something that you may want to introduce later on. But the issue you've got is you've got Marty, you've got Fornaroli, you've got other drivers, so you can't afford to lose momentum.
Dunn locking up and making the move on Forneroli, Tom. That kind of works, but now it's going to have to carry that flat spot, just like yesterday.
Yeah, that was a brilliant overtake from Alex Dunn on the inside there, despite locking up on turn 3 and passing Leo Forneroli with ease there. And now it's Dirksen who's the next to Harry Forneroli, and we're going to see further back as to why Luke Browning went straight into the runoff area. Does he hit the back of anyone?
He's got damage.
I think he hits the back.
No
Yeah, he
worries,
has.
mate. No worries.
Where do we?
Browning's in the pits, double yellow, sectors 5 and 6. I think we'll talk about this is Crawford. And this is Mini just locking up and had no exit traction. Double yellow now out. Clear sector 6, not sector 5. So we've got somebody off on the backstretch. Browning's had his lap time deleted. He's now into the pit lane. And Obi, this was the loop back around. That was good.
Absolutely. We're just waiting to eagerly go back to live pick. Green flags are back out now, but who was having that moment? But it was a drag race, and then it was who was braver on the brakes, and Gabriele Mini just able to get past Crawford, who braked a little bit more earlier. Crawford's going to get a chance to fight back with the green flags out around this circuit. Now let's see whether Crawford can take the lead.
He's got the DRS in operation. Pulls to the inside line. Mini should not be able to defend this one at all, but he's going to try immediately get the undercut for the slipstream back down towards turn number 1, but Crawford will have the DRS. There's another activation point though, where Gabriele Mini can then fight back down towards turn 3. Van Hopen passes Stanak as they come down to the first corner as well, further back. There's a few, well, it already looks like, Tom, that the soft tyres are starting to degrade a lot more than I expected.
Yeah, and that could open things up with the strategy a little bit later on, depending on how many laps we get done. But there we just see Roman Stanek getting through on Lawrence Van Herben further back. Mini wasn't able to use that DRS to come back through on Crawford, so Crawford in the lead once more. For sure heading through on Miata at turn 3, which is good enough for P11. And Crawford he's now back in the, there we see Luke Browning in the pit lane, and it looks like race over for the young Brit.
Yep. They're going to install the engine, even trying to leave the pit lanes. Oh, there's the debris on the back straight towards turn 7. So that's Browning's other piece of the winglet. That's just in the centre. They'll have to get a marshal out there to put to get that out. But still, not bad. Mini failing to follow race directions and instructions in turn 20, noted. That's the last corner. Has he cut below the pit lane entry line, do you think, Omi?
Possibly. I guess it'll be interesting to see whether we get any replays of that, but yes, plenty of things could have gone wrong in that situation. What has gone wrong today is Luke Browning's championship ambitions. He's going to drop down majorly, and it's going to basically bring Crawford now to be the nearest contender to try and fight with the Italian that is Leonardo Forneroli. Yellow flags out once again as they currently make their way through.
I hope that's a marshal. Because where it is on the circuit, sector 12, it's on the back stretch to come into it. We'll see. Still staying out there. It's gone green now as they come over the line to start lap 11 of the race. 10 complete as they head down towards the first corner. Down, 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 down on the gears. On board with Alexander Dunn. Running right behind Jose Maria Marti. He's got the fastest lap of the race, a 1:57.357. So already finding the traction as they flip the cars through. 9 times out of 10, I'm enjoying this race, Tom, already. It's the safety car early on has helped it. 36 minutes to go on the clock. I think we might just get the laps in.
Yeah, we'll see when, providing that we get no more incidents. And Dunn seems to be a happier man now compared to where he was at the start, because he's got Marty right ahead of him, who is going after Gabriele Mini. DRS has already been enabled, and Mini will be using that to his effect next time around when he gets close enough to Crawford on that long stretch. The debris, I'm sure, has been cleared, that part of the course. It has now. So we're good to continue as we are. Can Alex Dunn get through on Marty very soon, though?
A few drivers having a slipstream battle coming to the castle section, which is not a good idea. Crawford leading by 0.6 of a second, Naomi. I'm enjoying it. Come on, Jack, what have you got for us?
Absolutely. A driver who worked quite well around street circuits as well, and Alex Dunn, I'm sure he'll be trying to get past Pepe Marti. These two have a little bit of history across this Formula 2 season, I'm sure. So Dun's going to be trying his absolute best to make this move, as he's going to make his way through the sweepers and hope he can get enough of a tow. Of course, Marty will also have the DRS as well, but it just specifically depends on can you tuck in the slipstream and be able to get a strong enough slipstream to possibly have a dive bomb chance, which we all know that Dun isn't afraid of doing. And meanwhile, Dirkson's also going to be looking for it as well.
So down we go then to the braking zone. No one going for a move, but everyone's still running over that oil. And you just see how Fall already just got a little bit out of shape. The rear locking ever so slightly under braking. So we're still trying to see how that one's going to go. So far, Tom, so good.
So far, so good. And Crawford is defending from Mini still at the moment, who has the DRS right behind. But doesn't feel like he's making a move just yet. We just see Marty and Dunn going to combat there. I think Marty got off the line there to avoid giving the tow to Dunn. Dirksen with a new fast lap of the race, 156.7. They are starting to come down actually on the lap times a little bit, are the drivers, which could have a say on how many laps we get done here. But there's no major changes in position as we speak. And I don't know if this is going to be a thing between now and the end. Lindlund for sure have been noted for a turn 1 incident.
So we'll see what's going to happen down there. Probably a little bit of a runoff on the circuit. But Dirkskin, as you said, lap 11, so the fastest lap. I'm looking at the other time ones because just taking a look, Crawford's not pulling out the gap he wants to. He's only 7/10 to Gabriel Mini, and his lap times are only 0.5 of a second faster, so there needs to be a lot of improvement there as we now see the battling happening. I think at least the top 6 only are running together.
They are indeed. It is turning into a bit of a DRS train, but a DRS train which none of these drivers in this field can afford to make any errors, because if they do, then they'll be heading backwards. You've got to be cautious, you've got to be careful as you slide your way through the sweepers and then onto this long straight as you get ready to tick over to another lap as well. Crawford just keeping the gap to Mini to that 7/10, 8/10 range, where as much as the tow is strong, you won't be able to do anything from there. Let's see whether anyone else can try to do something, especially Leonardo Fornaroli getting himself closer to Dunn.
Fornaroli's hit the back of Dunn, forcing him off the track down in turn 1. He ran into him. Has Fornaroli got damage? He's well, I think remarkably they've both got away with that one. Fornaroli rear-ending Alexander down in the braking zone in turn 1, I mean.
Well, second feature race, Dunn has had a scenario like that where someone has just sent him off. And yeah, I mean, if Fornaroli finds himself in more trouble, they're just handing this on a plate to Jack Crawford in terms of, you're champion, you can absolutely join as a championship contender, and it's game 1 in Qatar and Abu Dhabi.
Here it is. Watch Dunn. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, hello. I'm not supposed to be looking this close to the ground. Surprised that didn't cause him wing damage. Oh, this is going to be a perfect shot for the drone. Bang! Off the track. I mean, Tom, Leonardo just outbraked himself, but this will be fun. This is on board with Fornaroli as he hits him.
Yeah. So he's not had anyone behind. He was just too late on the brakes, was Fornaroli.
We'll get a penalty for that later on. We'll have to gate it.
Right. It's been noted for causing a collision, but yeah, I don't think he did brake early. I think you outbrake yourself. That DRS snapped shut, Omi, with about 100 meters to go before a heavy braking zone onto 2.7 kilometer straight. Leonardo not really using his brain there.
Yeah, drivers searching through the excuse book, and there's a team bringing them the reality that you will be getting a penalty for that as well. So, well, at least he's been told that he will be getting one. So, whatever dream scenario he might be in, he has to forget that for the remainder of this race. And now he just needs to focus on the job at hand, because he needs to limit the punishment it will be, and he needs to just be full out attack and try to build gaps and stick with this leading train as well, and try to force your way through higher up. Meanwhile, Dunn's immediately then trying to now battle up against Lindblad. These two have a bit of history from last round, I think.
They do indeed, as, by the way, no further action between Stanek and Browning for causing a collision. So that's the other one down. That was the turn 4 incident that we saw with Browning getting forced off the circuit. It's been deemed that Stanek was not at fault, as Van Hopen's dropped down into 17th position, and up the inside, Kushmine is going to have to go defensive and does not do anything as through goes Villagomez for P7. It was a sensible move there, Tom, but Kushmini, well, I don't really think he deserves to be at the Formula 2 level. He's not really performing that best this weekend.
Well, Dunn's got to get on with it here and just try and recover what's left, because he's been on a bad run of form, really. Well, most of it not even his fault either, but it's just about being able to recover from such situations like this without all of what's happened getting to him. And now he's got Dunn he has to contend with, who's fighting with Maney and Villagomez, who was one of those that started on the super soft compound. He's made his way through into P7. Now he's on the super softs.
Here we go at the top of the hill. Down into that heavy 50 braking. Oh, I just saw at the top of the screen Villagomez almost post it into the wall. So a little bit dangerous move there. That's Beganovic. Villagomez now come down. 6th and 7th, the gap 3 seconds between them on the interval at the moment. As the DRS traction comes down in towards turn number 1. Crawford leads Mini. Marty, Durtskin, Foloroli, Beganovic, Villagomez, Lindblad, Maney now 9th, Dunn 10th for sure, Miata, Stanek, Montoya, Goethe, Martans over the line, Van Hopen, Bennett, Cordial, Shields, Browning, and the only one out of the race is Martinez Stenshaw, as well as Boyes going on down turn 1. Kushmini getting ahead now, as well as Dunn. No, yeah, Maney gets ahead of Lindblad. Now Dunn's trying to go on the inside line of Verschoor, defending that position for 10th position only as they head down the back straight away as well. Maney's now under attack again from Arvid Lindblad.
Absolutely, Arvid Lindblad on the charge. Meanwhile, Verschoor's trying to get up against Dunn as well. Dunn seems like he's now fading backwards and backwards. Verschoor won't be able to go the long way around there, and Dunn will maintain the position as they continue to navigate their way through. And Dougson, meanwhile, he's closing in on a podium. He would love to get another trip on the rostrum. Turn number 20, incident involving car 10 Mini, reviewed no further investigation. We were wondering what it was. No need to worry any longer about that, and we can focus on the race at hand because he's 2nd place and he's within 1 second of our race leader Jack Crawford at the moment. But yeah, Dunn, it looks like is struggling ever since that moment. He's already been passed by Lindblad. He's now got Verschoor on the back of him as well. So it is basically championship ambitions now starting to really fade away from Alex Dunn. He needed a great drive. He needed to be fighting at the front, but due to no fault of his own, unfortunately, with that moment, it has affected him. But all of that is allowing Jack Crawford, who's giving his best performance today and across the weekend, to take advantage and capitalise on all of that.
So, did you mention about Mini as well on that one with no further investigation?
Yes.
Yes, cool. Just picking that one up. Okay, on board then as well as Durtskin closes into the back of Jose Maria Marti. Sorry, I was having people talk in my ear as they come back down the back straight away. Are we going to have any more information on if Marty can hold off these tyres, which he's complaining about with already degradation? Durskin's got so much more speed, pulls to the inside line. It's a little bit of a hello, I'm here, before coming into turn 1. I think as well as Lindblad now dives to the inside line and Kushmini late on the brakes into 1. Lindblad gets back ahead. Miney's going to try the undercut, the run down towards turn 2. Lindblad goes defensive, has to move once, then returns the racing line, can't move a 3rd time as they come now out of 2. DRS will be activated. Dunn's in this mix as well, so we're going to have a real fight down towards turn 3 if they get all in traction together. Miney's got the DRS, but it's such a short run compared to the 2.7 kilometre back straightaway. You can't get alongside enough. But I think as well, Tom, just to circle back to Kushmini, a bad weekend coming up and down, but he's trying to make up for it with some decent points here today.
Yeah, and Miney running in 9th position after being on the, I think it was on the soft compound earlier, was Miney, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But, and now he's, he's trying to make amends and bag some more points on top of what he's already about to achieve. Lindblad is now within a second of Villagomez, who's beginning to drop back from Beganovic. The saving grace for Fornaroli is that if he gets a penalty, most likely going to be 5 seconds, that will only drop him 1 place.
Yeah, so he's actually in a decent position right now. That's, look at the foliage just blown onto the circuit. Side rant here. Anyone else see the fact that yesterday oranges were falling onto the circuit? That was quite interesting. Yellow flag. Sector 15, that's at the top of the hill. Has someone run off the circuit or put it into the wall? Green flag, so it must have been someone running wide. Now the DRS train begins only again down to turn 1. Dirtskin's on the back of Martin. Go on.
Martins, I think, is the one involved who had that moment. He's already found the wall this weekend. That was in qualifying. Here comes Dirksen.
On the inside line. Late to the brakes. Dirtskin goes through. The more I see of him, the more I'm impressed with him. In all honesty, he's such a good driver. Definitely Formula 1 level of talent. Has done now on the back in 10th position of Kushmini. 2.5 race, it seems like. 24 minutes to go. 17:29. Should just make it. There is our race leader. And directly behind him, Omi, is Gabriel Mini. He has not let him go at all.
Yeah, Gabriel Mini continuing his pursuit. He's trying to bide his time. He just needs to make sure he's within the 1 second, and then in the final stages, be close. Be close. You cannot afford to do it from 8/10 back. You need to be ideally getting into the 4/10 range. You want to try and make it a fly-through, not a wheel-to-wheel combat into the braking zone. That is where you risk contact. That's where you risk possibly losing out to Dirksen as well. So you've got to be cautious, and you've got to give yourself the best chance to make it as easy as possible as we go onto the final tour of the race. Lap 17 out of 29 of this FIA Formula 2 feature race. Absolutely flying by, and we're sprinting our way to the end.
Follow early and done and out under investigation for causing a collision. So that looks to me like it's going to be a slam dunk, unfortunately, for Leonardo, who's running in 5th place. You said earlier on, Tom, if he does get out 5 seconds, he'll only lose 1 place, which isn't that bad in the championship run.
Yeah, it's only 2 points down the drain for Fornaroli, but that does give that kind of advantage to Crawford, who is going to take a massive, massive rise up the order in the standings, with for sure not having a good weekend, and neither...
Forget
10
5,
seconds.
it's 10! Wow! Causing a collision, a 10-second time penalty for Fornaroli. What do you think, Tom? That's harsh in my book.
Yeah, I thought it was 5 seconds, in my honest opinion. But I think it's more the fact that how many positions Dunn lost because of the collision.
He has... See, I mean, what do you think? I think I agree with Tom. It should have been 5 because Dunn's still in the race and still in the points. But I don't know. I want another look at that again because he did run into the back of him. But they've done that without even seeing full early. Or even look at the evidence if Dunn did actually brake very early. We only saw the replay once.
Yeah, I think very, very harsh. And I think a 5 second probably would have been better suited to that moment as well. As Dunn does get past Miney now, so 1 championship point becomes 2 championship points for him as well. And it looks like Crawford's been able to pull away, and Mini's now got a 1.6 second gap ahead.
Okay, looking at it, no, he didn't brake early. They were both braking at the same time. Thank you, TV Director. Yeah, they're both... Okay, now that... What do you think, Tom, looking back at this? Because now we see it once again from 2 different angles. Dunn did not brake early at all. That was completely Leonardo out-braking himself.
Well, I always thought it was Fornaroli, hands down, because Dunn was just minding his own business and trying to make the corner. Fornaroli was just too hot on the brakes.
What do you think, Omi? That's... I understand it more now we've seen that it is a 10.
Yeah, well, I don't really see Dunn braking too early anyway, but so... I guess we can still debate about that, but for now he's got a 10 second and that's all that matters. But 2nd place, up for grabs for Dirksen.
And he's taking it down the back straight with the DRS on to the next lap, as now we see Fornaroli trying to go around the outside of Marty to just try and claim any places he can. It's a bit academic at the moment, but Joshua Dirksen moves up into 2nd position. Gabriel Mini now starts to fall to 3rd. Gap now the biggest it's been for the lead, 1.7 seconds. Can Joshua Dirksen take victory here in Azerbaijan? Here comes Fornaroli, Omi, down on the brakes. That's down the outside. Martin looks like he's just going to open the door for him.
Absolutely, battle on the brakes. Oh, there's going to be contact. We had that last year between Maloney and Antonelli, and they ended up in the walls. So they get away with it, but Fornaroli's still trying to fight this.
He's got off the line there. He saw how much dust he picked up as well. Nearly went into the barrier. Leonardo's got to think about this a bit more carefully. Through now the other side of the motorway, just 2 lanes, of course, before entering the castle section. As they try and come through, Leonardo's got to have something to attack with. As we see now, that's Bogdanovic just coming back. Yellow flags out. Sector 6. This is done. That's Miney ahead of him. He's got up to 9th. On the inside, lay on the brakes. Oh, that was super, Tom.
That was great. That was probably one of the best overtakes I've seen from Dunn, in my honest opinion. This is Marty in front of Rowley. Rear tyre against front tyre. Ooh. Is that maybe under braking?
Seen it, copy.
Yep, he said it as well. I think you're right there, Tom. He is moving under braking. Hang on a minute, that's good. A bit slow at turn 16, but he's closing in on Crawford.
He's got a lot of time as well, JB.
Does. 20 minutes with 10 laps. 2 minutes per lap. Yeah, we should get this all in, unless we have it on the safety car. And look at Forlaroli now on the back of Jose Maria Marti. Pulls to the inside line down to turn 1. This time he will make the move for 4th position, but it is a bit academic with that 10-second time penalty looming over him. I'm just trying to work out where he'll drop back. The gap to Villagomez is 11 seconds. That's to the leader. So I need intervals at the moment to try and work this one out.
He would fall to 10th position.
Yes.
But look at Dunn on a charge, look, past Villagomez, and can he take 2 in one go as he goes after Lindblad?
Pulls around the outside. This is going to be very interesting in towards turn number 3. Late on the brakes. Dunn literally has to back out of it, and he can't get the traction back on the inside line for 4. But he's going for it, Omi. He's not holding back. He knows that there's points on the line here to take away from Leonardo.
I think it's full Dunn mode engaged now. You can't, well, when he's been hit out in that fashion, he can't now sit back. I know a lot of the time people will say, and I'm sure the team have also told him, that sometimes you just need to think about the bigger picture. But in my opinion, this is championship now, any chance of it ending anyway. So you have to now go for those risks, and he has to now just try and do everything he can from this point on. So some of the dive bombs, which the team may have said, okay, you've got to be a bit more careful earlier on in the season. I think he needs to. I think if he just is able to enable what he was doing earlier on in the season and try and overtake cautiously, then I think it could be a good opportunity to try and move forward. But yeah, this is realistically the race where Dunn loses the chance to now fight in the final 2 rounds for our Formula 2 championship, as Leonardo Fornaroli, who is our championship leader as well, making his way through, and he's also going to be trying to chase down Gabriele Mini.
Over we go then, down towards turn 1. It's in between Bennett and Mendota for a yellow flag infringement. Fornaroli's coming back through on the inside line, pulls across to the inside and should easily now move ahead into 3rd position with a sweet move there as well, Omi.
Yeah, Bogdanovic having a good drive as well, we have to say. E5, win yesterday, solid result today as Luke Browning and Bogdanovic gave High-Tech their first podium, a double podium in 5 years as well, and they did so with a 1-2, so it was a special day yesterday for the High-Tech team. Ollie Oakes was there watching on as we go back to Dunn, and we go back to Dunn on the attack as he tries to get past Lindblad. And it should be an easy drive around the outside, but Lindblad's going to fight it.
That's very difficult, and nearly contact behind as well from Villagomez. That leaves himself vulnerable to Richard Verschoor. There's a lock-up again from Alexander Dunn. They all make the corner, though. Just desperate to not make any more contact. My goodness me, boys. Just keep it calm and keep it together. I'm almost nervous, Tom, watching the race for them, because they're going to make a mistake big time here soon.
And I couldn't agree more. Boganovic's overtake on Marty's been shown with the DRS open on this long pit straight, and this is going to be a textbook overtake from Bogdanovic to the outside. And Marty just didn't fight that one. It wasn't really worth it as soon as he got by. And this is a slow-mo of Dunn and Lindblad wheel to wheel on the approach to turn 3, and he actually did touch ever so slightly, but nothing major.
So down we go once more on what is lap now 21 of 29 with 15 minutes to go. The lap times have gone to 1:57, now 1:58, so they're still up and around. Yeah, that yellow flag of which was going to be under investigation a bit now as we see Gabriel Minier's attack from yesterday's sprint race winner Dino Bogdanovic pulls to the inside line. Brief yellow flag was out in sector 17. That was for someone going off the circuit, but Bogdanovic has got through into 4th position. Well, technically 3rd now for the podium, isn't it? With Forlorelli up in 3rd. Look at the melee behind as Rito Miata trying to get through on Kush Miney. And just ahead, you've got Vachon and Villa Gomez battling. Miney's sent to the outside line. Miata holding it through on the inside line, turn 1, doing beautifully. Now Montoya battling out as well. He's into 12th position. Miney, though, Omi down into 13th position.
Nice fighting farther back as well, as the train tries to get themselves, or some of them try to get themselves into points-paying positions of your Miata and Montoya. Of course, top 10 score Grand Prix Sunday points available, the same ones you'll see later on for Formula 1 in our feature race as well. It is the big event, which is why it has such huge championship implications ahead of Qatar and Abu Dhabi, which is why we possibly could be seeing John and some other drivers lose the chance today of realistically having a chance in the final 2 rounds, and rather having to depend on bad luck from their rivals in those final 2 rounds after the 2-month break that we'll be heading into. So the last Formula 2 race for a while.
Stalin said his lap time deleted for track limits. He was the one who went off track at turn 17, so that's the exit point just down here. So far so good then, as this race continues to wrap on with Jack Crawford as the leader of the race. Joshua Durskin 2nd, Forlorelli 3rd, Bogdanovic in 4th, Mini 5th, Marty 6th, Lindblad 7th, Dunn 8th, Villa Gomez 9th, and Vachon in the top 10. That's going to change slightly from positions 11 down.
Look at Fornaroli, because of the battling further back, now he'll be finishing in 6th. That is such a damage limitation for Fornaroli. With that 10-second penalty applied, it should be now 6th for him. And that is quite a great job. Damage limitation is he's been able to push on, and everyone else has been scrapping and struggling in behind.
More and more, getting faster and faster and faster, as now we see on the inside line, Richard Vachon trying to get ahead of Villa Gomez. Chris Miney now under attack again from Ollie Goethe, who we haven't talked about much this weekend. He was out yesterday, had a bad qualifying as well, so it was a bit up and down. Look at that water tub. I'm surprised no one's got around on that. It's come up from underneath these concrete pillars, just holds the water, and then the vibrations of the F2 cars have pushed it onto the circuit.
Yeah, when we don't often see that in Baku, as we look at Goethe thinking about a move on Miney, who's really begins to struggle.
Montoya snapped massively, coming out of 3. I don't think he touched the wall, but he did have a major rear slide moment. So we'll keep an eye on what that's going to be soon as they continue on. Marty and Forlorelli turn 3 collision, instant investigated after the race. Okay. I guess we just take a nod with that front and go from there and see what's going to change a bit later on in the race. But Crawford, Durskin, Forlorelli, 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Trying to work out if Forlorelli's going to be investigated again, Omi, as I've mentioned, so that could be a further penalty on the line. Yeah,
it could get quite interesting, I guess. Could get quite interesting in a few moments' time. So we'll keep an eye on that after the race, and if there is any news, we'll let you know, as we usually do on our Formula 1 broadcast whenever we get time as well. 1.2 seconds out between Dirksen and Crawford. So Dirksen just needs to get inside the 1 second. If you can get inside the 1 second, that's where it's easier. That is where you are in range, and that is where you've got the opportunity. So all he's got to do is just get a few more tenths, and then the DRS should close him in anyway, and then he's got a realistic chance of winning this Formula 2 race and winning at Baku for the 2nd year in a row. Sprint race last year, feature race this possibly on the line for him.
Still everybody sliding their way through. Turns 1, 2, there's bags all over the circuit. That's a brown bag now that Lindblad's about to suck up and throw into the face as well of Alexander Dunn as they come down towards turn number 3. Lindblad again. He was only fast on lap 21, lap 20, 22 and 23. Dunn's been faster. Okay, time and effect, cause and effect. So see how it goes between it. But yeah, slightly nervous about the end of this one. Bad day gone good or good day gone bad? Here's Martins, and he's off track again, Omi. Whoa.
Not his day. Not his day at all. Lando Norrising it from yesterday as well, pretty much. With just a graze, but you can get away with it with it not being concrete. So all's okay. All's okay. At that moment for Victor, as now Dunn back on the attack. As he's going to try and make this move on Arvid Lindblad. These two have been going at it for a while now. Let's see how it's going to play out between the two of them with the yellow flags out.
Down to the braking zone, that's why! Dunn's locked up and gone straight on. That lockup was coming from ages ago. And Alexander Dunn, well, who's going to blame this time? Well, to be fair, mate, you're going down to downtown Baku. He's so far behind the order. As he'll loop back around, points gone, day done. And he's going to rejoin safely now. So, sorry, Alexander, that's not your day.
Yeah, points are done, races are done. I think championship done, I think, officially now. After that. And yeah, it's just going to be, well, I guess at least he's not going to end in dramatic fashion in the wall for his sake, because that's the last thing you want. But I guess even worse, he's just not even going to finish in the points at all, and that's his chance gone.
Sadly, Tom, he tried to loop it back around, but there was too much grip on that rear car, so he had to go into the further escape road.
Yeah, but away from that, look at Dirksen. He's now within a second of Jack Crawford in the battle for the win. And you look at Fornaroli, if you see the gap between Fornaroli and Marty, he could be on course for a 5th place finish, subject to what goes on involving Dirksen and Crawford.
Game, set, match coming through here, I feel. This is going to be a very interesting end to this one. As once more, just going to hold together on this one, Omi, I think. And I've got a feeling Dirksen's going to win this one. He's got this. Yeah, go on.
Good, I mean, as I've mentioned, won here in the sprint race 1 year ago. So, well, he knows how to overtake cars and get to the win, because that's what he did in the sprint race as well around the circuit in 2024. So he knows how to overtake and get to the lead, and then he knows how to pull away. So it was quite brilliantly judged by Dirksen. He was fighting up against Gabriele Mini that day, and now he is going to be looking to try and close in on Crawford and try and make this move on Crawford as well. 9/10 of a second, DRS will be enabled. He'll be getting closer. This lap will be used to close in, and Crawford will know that he has to try and break the slipstream, and then attack will come possibly later on.
Time and time again as it comes through down towards turn number 1 again. Crawford still in the yellow flag at sector 15, and it's a permanent yellow. So I don't know who's gone off down there, but we'll see shortly as...
He's done again, I think.
Oh, no. That is going to be the heartbreak if he's done it for a second time in 2 laps. It's still out. No sign of a safety car. We'll keep an eye on it. But in that case, Dirksen needs to really hurry up here and get through on Crawford. But he hasn't got a DRS zone to do it. But the gap, 6/10 of a second, Omi, and that yellow is permanent.
Yeah.
He is done. Yeah, you're right there, Tom. He's locked up again. And this time he's even further down. And is he going to loop it back around? What's he done? Oh, he's gone down again the other escape road. What's he doing down there? Go on, Omi.
Well, I guess looking for a permanent way back home, I guess, for the break already. Yellow flags are still out, 7.5 of a second through the castle section. Such a tight part of the circuit. You just want to give it a bit more as a driver, but then you've got to be cautious, you've got to be careful as well at that moment. And just looking back as well, 1 year ago, I've just decided to check back because I could remember it. Crawford and Dirksen were actually the top 2 in the sprint race here 1 year ago. So it was Crawford trying to chase down Dirksen that day, he couldn't do it. Today's the opposite. Today's Dirksen trying to chase Crawford, and he's got so much momentum. He was so quick, making his way round turn 15, now through turn 16, and then his foot to the floor. You've got the sweepers, and you're gaining the slipstream all the way through, so you've got a huge opportunity in what could be the moment for Joshua Dirksen to take the race lead and try to become a Baku winner for the second year in a row.
Dunn is officially out of the race. DRS will be open. Crawford moves left, moves right, trying to defend as well. As now Dirksen's got so much more slipstream down to turn 1. Crawford goes to the inside line. Dirksen pulls to the outside, just lining him up. Surely a move there's not possible. He'll try the undercut at the exit down towards turn 2. He'll hold it together, trying to find the correct line, trying to find the most perfect line. Still nothing going on. Yellow flag still out for Alexander Dunn as he's now out of the race. Kushmini came in for a pit stop as well. Those on the soft tyres had to still stop for super softs as they come through. Down we come once more. Nothing going on in the second DRS zone. Just to answer Durvas's comments, do the auto stop again? No, they've all done their mandatory pit stops under the safety car. You're only allowed to not stop onto a virtual safety car. Under regular safety car, you're fine. Omi.
Good defense, good defense. He's having to park it at every single corner around the circuit, left and right, having to defend. Dirksen is so close to the walls, he's so close to the back of Crawford. And now this is the part of the circuit where you absolutely have to be single file. He's forcing Crawford to go off the ideal racing line and park it in the middle. This is not helping Crawford, it's not helping him at all with pulling away. Fornaroli is closing in. Dirksen absolutely pushing it through the castle section, gets close to the wall, and now you're absolutely nudging your rival through, and then you find yourself in the same boat as one lap ago. Can you find yourself just being that little bit closer through the final corner of this circuit, the final braking zone, turn 16? If you can just be that so much more closer, it could be the difference between you being a full car length ahead as Dunn, watching on with the rest of us in this brilliant battle that we have for the win.
I don't know why we've got a yellow flag down there, because the car's not in any way near in trouble. We should be green in that sector. I don't know why they've just put a permanent yellow there. The car's behind the barrier, it's safe, there's no one in the firing line. Oh, and Crawford misshifted. Crawford went a downshift, and is that going to allow Dunn to reel him in down towards turn 1 with the DRS open? The gap 0.5 of a second. DRS opens now, watch it close to 4 tenths, now 3 tenths. 2 tenths coming into the braking zone. I think he's a bit too far back this time round. He looks to the inside line, but we're on the penultimate lap of the race. Down to turn 3 will be the next opportunity. Down now, this is turn 2. Open up now for 3. And Omi's so far in the back, it's got to be now. And Crawford knows he's going defensive.
He absolutely knows it. This has to be brave from Joshua Dirksen if he is to find a way through DRS, and closing in down towards turn 3. Won't be able to do it there. He's going to get one more chance down the start-finish straight to have a full straight, or he'll have to make it a drag race to the line on lap number 29 of the race. So he's realistically only got 2 opportunities, a full straight and then about half a straight all the way till the line.
This, I think, Tom, is going to be a side-by-side of the line, and then if these two take each other out, Fornaroli wins on the road, but it'll be Bogdanovic 2 in a row.
Yep, and it'll be a rarity to see a driver win both the sprint and the feature races on the same weekend. Crawford knows that he's got a chance to close down the gap in the championship with Fornaroli's penalty, and Dirksen, well, he's nowhere near in the championship fight. He just wants to end his season on a high in what's been a tougher season, I think, for Dirksen than it was last year. But Crawford just needs to do his best to hold on. But if Dirksen's alongside, he cannot afford to take too many chances.
Comically enough, the last time a driver had a feature and sprint victory double up was here in Baku 2 seasons ago, with Oliver Behrman taking it in that wonderful weekend where he did a grand slam, Omi, didn't he? Pole position, led every lap of the sprint and feature, and won both races. It was fantastic.
Fantastic indeed. I can't say the same about Dirksen's exit. He has been closer than that before. Round this part of the circuit, now through the sweepers. Final lap is about to begin. It may need to be a dive bomb from here. He'll be closing in all the way, but he would have preferred to be a little bit more closer. Crawford's breaking the slipstream. Here comes Dirksen.
DRS open down towards turn number 1. I think this is just going to have to be a last lap gamble as they head into the first corner. Crawford lay on the brakes, but Dirksen's so close. He's 2.5 tenths of a second at the exit. He's kept that momentum, and now he's in the tow as they come into turn 2. DRS will be open down to 3. Crawford's had a poor exit. Dirksen did it. He's right on the back of it with DRS open. This is the closest he's been down towards turn 3. Crawford's looking in his mirrors, moving gently towards the right, then the left again as they come down to 3. He's moving it well on the straight. Not allowed to do that. Jack will be under investigation, surely, because he's moving whilst on the straight at least 3 times, I noticed there, Tom, as he comes into 4.
We'll see what the stewards make on that, but Dirkson's got realistically one final opportunity down the pit straight towards the line. Will it be Jack Crawford taking the win, or will it be Josh Dirksen claiming his 4th Formula 2 victory as the corners continue to reduce more and more and more in this race? And we have to say it's a rarity for Formula 2 to complete all of the race distance in the feature in Baku, but it looks like Jack Crawford has done enough unless he makes a really, really daft mistake from here.
Ahmed said that he was watching the race. He's in Baku right now, and Jack Crawford was on his flight. Well, he might be leaving here very, very happy as well as they come down into the braking zone. Got track 7 slippery through the castle section. No opportunities here, Romy, but this is it. One more run, and he's closer than ever before, and he's sliding out of 15.
Nearly puts it in the wall. This is win it or bin it stuff for Dirksen, who looks like won't be able to make it 2 in a row unless he can make it in a drag race to the line. Good exit for Crawford. It's all down to this now. Crawford should be able to hang on.
There will be DRS, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Dirksken's put his foot down hard now. He's not going to lift as Crawford will come onto the line. The DRS will be open. He's getting very close. I think time's going to run out. Who's it going to be? The DRS opens. It's down to the line. 100 metres left. It's Jack Crawford. He wins an absolute stunner here in Azerbaijan. It's Dirksken in second by 2/10. Forlaroli will finish the road in 3rd, but it'll be yesterday's sprint winner who makes it a 1-3 across the weekend. Bogdanovic 3rd, Mini 4th, and judging by it, Forlaroli only finishes in 5th. He's dropped down only 2 places. Remarkable from him. Then it's Marty Lindblad, Villa Gomez, Rashor and Montoya picking up the last point. Jack Crawford wins an absolute stunner and closes in on the title fight with him and Forlaroli with 4 races and 2 weekends left. Fabulous!
Wow. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And Dirksen won here, holding off up against Crawford 1 year ago. And now Crawford repaid the favour, and the top 2 across 2 years of Baku in different formats have been the same, but a different order. Crawford the winner.
Made it. Great job. Ah, come on! Let's go! Wow, it was tricky at the end. What a great job, guys.
Yeah, great job. Great job indeed as well, Tom. That was a legendary battle.
It was, wasn't it just? And a brilliant battle to the end. Did not too many incidents in that one, I would say. The drivers behaving themselves from the start. And if you look at the championship standings with Crawford leaping up the order into 2nd place, just 19 points off the top with 2 rounds to go. He's got a realistic go at the championship, but this man still has that cushion over everyone else, but we know how quickly that can disperse between now and Abu Dhabi.
That's it from Dirksken. At the end.
Good job, Joshua. Very good job.
Yes, thank you, God. Man, this race was good. This was good, man. Really nice. I wanted the victory very badly. Ah.
Classic end, classic race. Okay, let's head down then to Sky and the world feed with Chris and Alex as we hear from Dina Bogdanovic in 3rd, and we'll hear from myself, Omi and Tom at the podium ceremony.
Very good job. Double podium.
Oh, that's so lovely. That's so nice. Oh, what a comeback. Great weekend. Great job, guys.
He's clearly gained a lot of confidence from that win yesterday, from the 5th row to another podium. Yeah. And he had the pace all the way to the end, didn't he? Maybe the fight with Fornaroli at one stage just delayed him slightly, but 2 podiums in this weekend. He'll be very happy with that.
So it was a brilliant drive for Bogdanovic. Always nice if you do end up in an exit road.
Yeah.
If someone else ends up there too.
Yeah.
At least you can have.
How did you end up here?
Yeah, you come here often.
Yeah.
Chat down, unfortunately, the exit road of turn 15 was not the day for Alex Dunn, unfortunately. Was the day for Jack Crawford. He vaults himself up to 2nd in the championship. as a result of that drive. Slightly difficult day for Fornaroli, recovered it somewhat. Very difficult day for Dunn. Not the best performance throughout this weekend from Richard Verschoor for whatever reason. So a lot of unopposed points there picked up by Jack Crawford.
Yeah, 19 points back for him, championship-wise. He's the fight well and truly on for him. He was at danger of dropping back in that title race, but pole position, feature race win. He's confirmed himself well and truly in contention for this Formula 2 title, and he'll take the fight all the way to the final round. There's no doubt about that. Jack Crawford climbs out of the car, and that is a third feature race win this season. Well done to the Dams Lucas Oil driver. He very, very happy with that one. He'll go and celebrate with the team now. The American is going to take this title fight all the way to the final race of the season, and that result, confirmation of that. It wasn't quite as straightforward as pole position to the win, was it? He was under a lot of pressure throughout the race. He was lost the lead at times, but in the end held on to take the win.
Well, the curveball of the early safety car, and of course that melee in the pit lane as they all tried to make their stops, played its part in it as well. It was a launch of a start, actually, from Leonardo Fornaroli, who found himself in the middle of the pack and then, of course, made that mistake as resultantly, really. Joshua Dirksen with a brilliant drive, looking at it the other way from 15th on the grid, managed to gain massively through that phase.
Yeah, I had a one-place penalty on the grid. A really good effort from him. Charged through the order. Just looked so quick as well through the final sector. Always had himself set up for a move into that first corner. He was absolutely flying.
Yeah, it was. Drove actually all the way through the top 4 positions, didn't he?
Yeah.
There, Joshua Dirksen. And he's really, really happy with that one, as well he might be. I think it's been Dino Beganovic's best, I think clearly his best weekend of the year.
Yeah.
Back-to-back podiums for him, but not just that, the speed he had yesterday out front of the field, and then the racecraft he's demonstrated today. An exceptional weekend for Beganovic.
Yeah, it's come at a good time for him, isn't it? This is the stage where drivers begin to look to next season and what they're going to do. And to have your best weekend in Formula 2 at this stage, he's picked a very good time to do that. He can go into the break now, the 2-month break that we have, feeling very happy with his efforts. The high-tech driver, Joshua Dirksen, that's one of his finest performances I think we've ever seen in Formula 2. Well done to him. Let's hear from our winner, Jack Crawford, who's speaking to Ariana Brown.
Congratulations on that victory. Pole position to victory, but it didn't look easy out there. Could we start by just talking about those final few laps and being under pressure from Josh Dirksen there? What was that like in the car?
Yeah, he was really fast, and I was falling off a bit. I pushed quite hard, to be honest, to pass Gabriele early on and tried to pull DRS. And I wasn't able to, which hurt my tires in the long run. And it just didn't seem we had quite the long run pace as maybe Josh or Leo behind. But yeah, from then on, I knew it was just about defending, making sure I had 6-7 tenths gap going onto the main straight. And yeah, I managed to do that every time. So.
You had us on the edge of our seats there, but as you said, wasn't a simple race. You had to retake the lead. Talk us through what it was like out there on track in the changing conditions with the gusty winds as well.
Yeah, the start was really tricky. You know, my side of the grid was a bit wet, so shame we didn't have a rolling start there. But yeah, I knew I was fast. I knew it was a long race, and you know, the first few laps was just feeling it out. And as well, the safety car restart coming straight out of the pits on basically cold tires was very tricky. And yeah, I knew I had to pass Gabriele fast, and I was getting into a rhythm, and then all of a sudden I started feeling massive wind gusts in the last sector, and it felt like it was picking up a bit, but yeah, I managed to manage it well.
And final question, this is very helpful in your bid for the Drivers' Championship. Just talk to us about how useful this race win is in that battle.
Yeah, it was a crucial day. Obviously, Leo was starting right beside me, and we managed to beat him and close the gap. So that's what I have to do if I want to win is qualify on pole and win the feature race. And I feel like it was perfectly executed from me and the team this weekend.
Absolutely was. Congratulations once again, Jack.
Thank you.
Well done to Jack Crawford. At the moment, he came across the line to take his 6th win in Formula 2. And he was in a hurry to get back to celebrate with his team. He knows that's a big win for him this season. Can go into the break now knowing that he is well and truly in the fight for this championship. He's put the pressure on championship leader Leo Fornaroli. Let's hear what he has to say.
He was going like 40 instead of 60. Yeah. I was checking on the speed. It was crazy.
What did you start?
15? Yeah. That was like...
You're really quick.
Yeah.
He was quick.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be okay, and then I just hit that.
Oh, wait, you weren't damaged?
Yeah, look.
Hey, yeah, no,
he almost sent me to the wall.
That's why I had such a good battle.
Man, I have massive oversteer. I could have used a broken front wing. Oh, I got screwed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got him in the front. Wow.
Right, but he slipped through me back.
Oh.
It was not tactical.
Maybe he did on purpose, Man, when I tried out Type 1, I was like...
There was no grip, no?
No.
Because I saw you lost time.
Yeah, exactly. Then when we were fighting, we lost like what? Oh, I was behind this. I remember that.
Did Dan crash into someone?
Well, no, they crashed into that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, true.
Oh.
Oh. Oh man, Dan was already taking people just with buck-ups. Like, really?
Just someone that did next to your fight.
Like we were
in front, handbrake.
When I was literally behind him on T3 for braking, he just braked, and then he was like, okay, I'm clear. He turns in, and then just like big front locking, and like he just made it. Like,
oh, fuck. Is my front bleeding?
No.
No, it's not.
Give me this.
Well, Ganovic just is surprised there to hear where Dirksen started.
Especially with the damage he carried.
Yeah, well, that seems so long ago now.
I'll be honest, that was about 16 incidents ago.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'd forgotten by the time he got to the end. Obviously didn't hurt him too much. In fact, really interesting there to say, yeah, I kind of could have done with a little bit less front wing myself from the guys in the cool down room. That's true. Cars to the end of the race. Neutral in the team's championship very much this one, wasn't it? We've got Beganovic still grabbing some points, I guess, for high tech. 279 points now versus high tech 257 for Victor.
Yeah, Beganovic out. 2 out of 2 in podiums this weekend. Joshua Dirksen returns to the Baku podium and on the top step for the 6th time in Formula 2. It's Jack Crawford and Dams Lucas. Crawford, a third feature race win for him this season, adding to his...
Yep, Crawford again on top step. He'll take the P1 trophy home, and I think he thoroughly deserves it.
He absolutely does. A great performance, a great drive put in as well. For Jack Crawford has been a very unlucky driver in the FIA Formula 2 Championship. I'm happy some of that is being repaid now. And also Dirksen, I guess another podium around Baku City Circuit it is. Been a good circuit. It has been kind to him as well. And Dino Beganovic, well, it's been kind to him this weekend, his first time there, and it has given him a victory. It has given him a podium. So he's had 2 trips to the rostrum and getting the attention from Ferrari, of course, Ferrari back. Dino Beganovic is.
And now it's champagne time! And Crawford bangs the Moët bottle, and it is breakfast time with champagne here, which is apt for just gone 12 o'clock. Next up, we've got the Formula 1 race in about 2 hours' time. We're on air for the pre-show. We've also got the British touring cars in action. Reminder that all the F1, the pre-show's on JB2, and then we'll be joining the race just after 12 o'clock on the main channel on JB Motorsports. Will be simulcasting. Well, what a race. Tom, your final thoughts?
An excellent win for Jack Crawford and a much needed one to keep his realistic hopes of the championship alive. And with Fornaroli not having the best of days, done virtually out of contention for the title now, it really seems. It's off to Qatar, albeit we have to wait another 2 months before we even get there.
Omi, take us through the results and your final thoughts of the day.
Absolutely. So, with the results, first of all, we ended with Jack Crawford taking what was an absolutely extraordinary win in the FIA Formula 2 Championship, a 6th for him in the category. Dirksen getting himself to another podium, he was in 2nd, and then it was Dino Beganovic in 3rd as well. We found ourselves with Gabriele Mini finding himself in P4, and then it was Leonardo Fornaroli in 5th. In 6th, we found ourselves with Pepe Marti just ahead of his teammate Arvid Lindblad, and Arvid Lindblad will be looking to try bounce back and end the season on a high. Villa Gomez in 8th, Richard Vachura was in 9th, and then it was Sebastian Montoya, the Prema man, in 10th position, getting a point from this weekend's action. In 11th, we found ourselves with Miata, and then it was Gerda Sonic. Shields a few trips to the pit lane for him. Luke Browning, a day to forget, he finishes a lap down. Marnie finds himself in 20th, what counted as one of our drivers who didn't see the flag, but our DNFs, our official DNFs, Dunn and Stenchel, and a disappointment for them. In terms of final thoughts, I think Tom has summarised all of that pretty well. What I will say is, we've got a 2-month break, a lot is going to happen in that. In terms of Junior Series racing, you can catch a lot on JB Motorsports 2 if you want to watch all of that, including in about an hour and 30 minutes time with Italian F4 and Freckers on later. So lots of Junior Series racing, but looking forward to speaking to you in 2 months.
Thanks, Omi. Thanks, Tom, for your company this weekend. A classic F2 feature here in Azerbaijan, Baku. F2 now goes on a 2-month break. We'll be back with them in Qatar, then to Abu Dhabi. 4 races left there to decide the title. Well, we've narrowed it down. We'll see you in 2 months. Take care. Bye-bye.